Last we left off, you made your way to Van Richten's tower, where you found the famous hunter biding his time until the wedding. After relaying your plan and much convincing, you were able to acquire the assurance that he would fight, that should a fight break out at Strahd's wedding, that he would not only be in attendance, but assist. During discussions, you mentioned you were headed to Krezk to find more allies to assist you in your eventual siege of Ravenloft. He told you of the Abbot and his plans to give Strahd a worthy bride by creating a flesh golem to serve in place of his long-lost love, Tatiana. The night went by uneventfully outside of the wolves howling in the distance. In the morning, you stopped by the cave to see that it was currently under a siege of its own. Emil and his followers in a standstill with Kirill and the rest of the pack. We resume in the heat of the battle, Radovan and Honora having just rescued Zulika from the cages in the back of the cavern, while Temperance and Ramiz are dealing with the full brunt of Kirill's fury.
Furry fury.
Furry,
And
furry
Anderson
fury.
is becoming very, very powerful.
How's that?
Oh.
He converted several of the wolves to his side.
Oh, yes, kind of.
Power of will.
The power of a flaming greatsword.
Force of personality.
Power of love.
The charisma.
The power of love.
So I've used a couple of your spell slots there, Radovan, but I didn't mark them down because I couldn't.
She used shape stone.
Yeah.
And did you use any healing spells?
And like one.
Just a first level
and
something?
we used one of your wild shape too.
Yeah, you wild shaped into a bear. That's right. Alrighty.
This is the same day that we traveled by Giant Eagle.
No, this is the next day. So long rest yourself, regain everything, and then subtract
a level and a first level and
a wild shape. Yes, sir.
But you haven't taken in really any damage, so.
Yes, that is also true. Alrighty. We resume on Kirill's turn. And with Kirill right in front of Temperance, he is going to take his claw attacks. Sorry, I'm remembering how D&D Beyond works again.
Jesus, I thought that was John's roll for a second.
I know, me too. Yeah.
That was exciting.
Lovely use of a nat 20 for literally nothing.
Do something.
There it is, claws. Okay. So the first hit or the first attack was a 16. Does a 16 hit?
My AC is 16.
So yes,
I can never remember if it hits with the equal. Damn it!
You are going to take 19 points of slashing damage, and you need to make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
And I need to make a con throw for my far step. And
balls.
Okay, so your saving throw, you are now knocked prone. Let me
how much
look
damage did you say I take?
19 points of slashing damage.
Thank you.
Ouch!
Alrighty, and now the creature, as he's attacking you again, as you get knocked prone, he jumps down and all fours on top of you, his muzzle just snarling, the spittle just dripping into your face. And he is going to make another claw attack at you with advantage. First one was 15, second one was 18. So 18 hits for another 13 points of slashing damage.
Woof.
And now, as his turn is ending, he is going to bite you.
Rude!
Come on, load. I don't want to click it again. Oh, there it goes. It finally went. Okay. 19 to hit, which hits.
Huh?
18 points of piercing damage. And I'm sorry to ask, but you need to make a Constitution saving throw now.
Another one?
Well, this is a Constitution. This is a Constitution rather than Strength.
Yeah, but I already had to make a con roll for my far step.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that's-
yes,
this
yes.
is a
Yeah,
different
this is
one.
for something
Much worse.
different.
Well, that one went a little better.
And yes, it does go better as he is biting deep into your collarbone, just shredding into your skin, severely just wounded and bleeding from these massive amount of rapid attacks as he's biting. And you feel from that point, you feel this sickness, this fever, boiling heat radiating from that spot. But your body fights it off, at least for now. But that ends his turn right there. And it is now at the top of the round as your turn. So being knocked
Yeah.
prone with, I mean, he's over top of you. You're not grappled or anything.
Okay.
But you are prone and kind of in his space.
Okay. Would it be a bonus action to try to get up?
It's half your
Yes,
movement.
it's half your movement.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with a thunderclap.
Okay, that's is that a strength or a con save from me?
Con.
That, yeah, con.
An 8.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm at 18, so that's a fail.
Yeah.
And then
So does that push me
I'm
back or
gonna
does
get
that
up.
just take damage?
let me put it in VTT.
I think that takes damage and then she teleports, right? Am I thinking thunder?
That's Thunder Step.
No, I don't have thunder step.
Oh, okay.
This is a cantrip.
No,
Yeah,
I already
do the
cast it.
VTT.
Sorry,
The other one.
Yeah, I know. I'm having troubles. I burnt my finger today, so all of my things are a little funky trying to navigate.
Yeah, it's just
There we
damage.
go.
Okay, it's just damage. I didn't know if it was pushback or stop my reactions
Nah,
or anything.
Unfortunately.
Okie dokie.
All right. Then I'm gonna try and get up.
Did you guys hear the music?
What?
Put
The thunder.
thunder, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, so you're able to stand using half your movement speed, so you still have the rest of your movement speed, but just know any just walking away is
Yeah,
going
you
to
can take an
provoke an attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna stay, I guess. I'm really worried about what the attack of opportunity is gonna look like.
Not good.
Not good. It won't be good for me. It'll be bad. Well, but can he do 33 damage? Okay, I'm gonna try and get away. I'm gonna give it one shot.
Okie dokie. He is
I don't know
going
if that's a dumb
to.
idea or not.
He
You
is
have
gonna.
15 feet of movement.
Oh, that's right.
What do you?
I'm going that way.
Okay. 27 to hit. 18 points
Yes.
of slashing damage.
Okay.
And you need to make another strength saving throw to see whether you're knocked prone.
Yeah.
Come on, roll better this time.
You just barely, as he swipes at your back and you feel this kind of propel you forward, feeling the slash, it allows you to just get out of range and you kind of stumble forward. But yeah, you do take 17 points of slashing damage.
Yep, it's all been recorded. I'm pretty hurt right now.
Do you that's everything, right?
That's all I can do without my first step.
Alrighty. Kirill is going to use a legendary action to now that the top of the round has come back around, to do Mauling Dash Moves up to a speed without provoking it to opportunity attacks and can make one claw attack or against the person. So he is going to move. What's his speed? It
This
is
fucking guy.
Right?
You bastard.
Huh?
Luckily, I've got my little
40
necklace,
feet.
so-
40 feet in direwolf form. So that's 15. Perfect. So he is going to do a drive-by against you and end up making it to in place of Ramiz. And he is going to make a claw attack as he's running by. 22 to hit, 11 points of slashing damage.
Well, I'm still up.
But you also, again, need to make another strength saving throw.
And technically
Oh,
I'm
there
down.
it is.
And again, as he's running by, it's just a slash with his claw, just knocking you prone as he's running by, now seeing you gravely wounded, laying on the ground, blood just oozing from your flesh. And he has his eyes set on Ramiz that has done some serious damage to him over the last couple rounds. But that ends his legendary action. It is now Anora's turn in the back of the cave, having just helped freed Zulika with Radovan. Still a ways away from any of the other threats. But-
Radovan, can you handle getting the rest of them out of those cages?
Fine.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna bonus action dash to get up here. Where I think Anderson might be.
Oh, that's right. You guys don't have line of sight. As you come around the corner, you're met with several wolves. A lot of them. Okay, yeah. These aren't the same size of dire wolves that you saw at the front entrance of the cave, but they are still full-grown wolves. And then one in a hybrid form, kind of similar to what Anderson you would see. And they are all kind of blocking the stairs going down. And as you come around, these ones in particular seem not aggressive. But you use your movement and your action to get up there. Nothing else, right? No bonus action, nothing?
I don't think I have any bonus. I mean, I do have a bonus action, but I don't want to use it. Actually, no. I'm going to cast Misty Step.
Okay. Cool.
And I will just pop down to there.
Ah, fuck. I forgot I was having the rest of the wolves go. I need to roll. Oh, shit. I think I did D4, D6. Now I need a D8 for casualties. 1. Okay.
Oh, I see Anderson now.
Alrighty. That ends your turn. Kirill is going to use his third legendary action point for a swipe against Ramiz.
Okay.
25 to hit for 14 points of slashing damage, and I need a strength save from you.
One
He's a level
second.
10 boss. Of course he's going to have legendary actions. It's going to hit you fucking hard.
Oh, wait.
I'm just so glad his plus to hit is finally like having a little bit of like.
A strength saving throw, you said?
Yes, sir.
And then when we can't just run away from him or smack him so hard that he's not interested anymore.
Right. 10 does not save. You are now prone.
Okay.
But it is now your turn.
Okay. Well, now, quick question, because
Yes.
2 weeks. Did I use my Zephyr Strike bonus action yet to gain advantage on one attack roll of my choice?
You have not. Like, you use your Zephyr Strike to not take opportunity attacks and increase your movement speed, but you have not used your
got-
advantage.
3 rolls last.
Yes, but
Right.
I probably used a War Priest.
That is
as
what you
well.
did.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm going to use half my movement to stand up. I will while... Oh, wait, hold on. I need to give you a con save. And I get those with advantage because of reasons. Oh, fuck.
Does that stop your Zephyr Strike? Is that a concentration spell?
I believe it is. Hold on.
I think it is.
I'm
but...
pretty sure it is. Hold on. Because I know it's right above here. Zephyr Strike. It is concentration.
Gross.
Yep. So, Zephyr Strike is down.
Okay.
So, kind of changes things up a little bit. Not what I wanted to do, but all right. So I will use my bonus action then to recast Zephyr Strike.
Okay. Radovan, you're up next.
So let me put that up there again. It's playing VTT. I will back the fuck off for another 15. Hold on, wait. Let me reread this. Hold on. When spell ends, you move to whether you hit. Okay, cool. So I'm going to back off 15 feet. And in the meanwhile, Homeboy is going to maybe eat an arrow.
Okay.
And
is that a maybe or a...
Well, because I'm going to roll with advantage. So
okay.
The second part of the Zephyr Strike.
Got it.
And I'm going to take the -5 from Sharpshooter.
Okay.
On both of these. So, 22 and 25. So, a 20 to hit.
Oh, because of advantage. Yes, 20
Yes.
does hit.
So, he will take 18 piercing damage.
All right.
And I will back off another 30 feet per the last thing of Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to... Oh. I'm going to move... Shit. Damn it. Oh, which way do I want to move? Fuck it. All right, we're just backing away at this point. Very sorry, Temperance. I don't mean to leave you up on your own, but I will attack him one last time per my attacks.
Okay.
And this will also be with a -5 to hit.
Okay.
So a 15 against his direwolf.
Yes, so he is 16 in his hybrid form. So that misses.
Okay.
Alrighty, that ends your turn? Alrighty.
Yep, that ends my turn.
Radovan, it is now your turn.
How did we free Zulika?
Okay,
like
so...
Their cages, right? So
Yeah, in the back, these are these extremely thick wrought iron bars that are just slashed into the stone earth that are basically like full floor to ceiling. And that is where your stone shape was used.
Okay.
It was to basically dig out from underneath. That's not necessarily the only option, but you did find out that Zulika said that Kirill had the key.
Right.
Which you don't know that, but your character knows that he's probably towards the front of the fighting.
And so the rest of these.
Go ahead.
The rest of these cages have people that are on our side. Are they pretty emaciated though? Like how long do they seem they've been in captivity?
That's a good question. Make a perception check.
25.
Okay, yeah, 25. Looking around, it looks like they've been, like, even Zulika, as she's getting out, and she's clearly one of the stronger leaders of the group. She even looks a little fatigued, probably having been malnourished for the past week, just kept alive long enough to just survive, right? Like, just barely feeding them. So they have fight in them because they're, the adrenaline of it all, but you can tell even with that fury of wanting to be free that they're still in pretty bad shape.
Well, I guess it's better to give them a chance than to deny them any kind of revenge, or not enlist their aid now when it may be needed. So I've done one cage so far.
Yes.
Then I guess I will move and perform the Great Escape on another.
Alrighty. So, I'm gonna say, having seen the way that this worked before, and removing the stone and kind of shifting it off, you feel that with these two butted up really close to each other, that you could probably do a twofer. If you basically dug out the space directly between the two cells, that you would probably be able to release all four of them at the same time.
Judging by their scrawny forms, emaciated scrawny forms, they can
Yeah.
probably squeeze through, yeah. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Yeah, you're able to do so. The stone kind of shaping and making way, pulling out through the front and just pushing and giving them enough space to be able to crawl through. Very eager, but yet slowly stumbling through the open created hole. They are very thankful for your assistance.
Healing magic wouldn't do anything to kind of bolster them, right? Because it's more that they're...
If it's an exhaustion, it takes like a restoration spell, right?
Okay.
Greater.
All right. That's my turn. Well, I guess I probably have some movement to move over here.
If that was your intent.
Like, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Anderson, you're going to be next.
These are all 5-foot spaces, right? Just get to here.
Yeah, this is from one space to the other. That's only 20 feet. I don't think you used... Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably only... Yeah, you can get there.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic.
Alrighty.
That's my turn.
Anderson, it is now your turn. Seeing the carnage in front of you, dead werewolves laying on the ground, some of them transform back into human form, some of the dire wolves just laying their wounds open, just bleeding. Kirill, really doing a number on your teammates. What do you do?
Alright, so these dire wolves, they're going after Emil's men, right? Like they're with Kirill.
So, we kind of touched on it just a little bit 2 weeks ago. I can't remember who asked it, but they don't have uniforms on. Like, there's no clear way to distinguish. Like, they probably know just due to defined characteristics that they've known from living with each other for a really long time. But you, as an outsider, you would be really difficult. It would be really difficult for you to know who's on what side among all of these.
Can't just like smell and get the pheromones of their intent and.
Well, we would
Well,
if
I
we
mean,
knew them
I-
better.
This musk is side one.
I'm
this
trying to
musk
base
is
this
side
based
two.
on their positioning because they seem to be on the high ground where Kirill was, right?
I haven't
Yeah, but
necessarily moved those tokens. Like, they've just kind of been there, and I've just been subtracting from the number as each round passes. So their position isn't necessarily relative to the combat. So
They're not redcoats. They're not the British. They don't stay on their side when they fight.
yeah, this is very much a
I'm just
brawl
going based
where
on what I see, so
I know.
yeah.
I
So
see a bunch of wolves.
if I'm you're more than welcome to try to make a perception check. You could like take a peek and find Emil, who I would say that you had been around long enough to know his kind of characteristics, or had see who he's fighting and try to distinguish that. But the only one that you're really going to be able to distinguish are the ones that are outright attacking you, and probably Kirill.
okay.
But you're more than welcome to take a shot. I'm not going to say that you can't.
Yeah. Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So, I've got 45 feet of movement. I'm going to move down. Yeah, I use my movement to get down there, and I can see Kuro from where I'm at, right?
Yeah, you can see him. You can see Temperance laying on the ground in the distance, and you can see Kirill just kind of in a mad dash towards Ramiz.
Okay. So from right there, Anderson will take his like flaming greatsword, pointed right at Kirill, and he'll kind of like throw up his arms and say, "Kirill, come on, or you chicken."
Ooh, he's a wolf. He won't like that.
Make a persuasion or an intimidation, whichever one you prefer.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. Hearing his name being called out, he turns, snarling, and looks at you, and he is. You can tell that his intent has shifted.
Okay.
You still have your action and your bonus action, correct?
I am going to hold my action, and take a swipe at him if he comes near me.
Alrighty. You will not have to wait for very long, as his turn is up next, and he immediately charges through the fray, just kind of pushing wolves aside as he gets up to you. You can go ahead and use your held action.
Sure thing.
16 does hit. Yep.
All right, and that'll be an additional 3 fire damage.
Alrighty. He is actually looking pretty hurt. As he's coming up to you, you could even kind of tell as he was running, his gait was a little off. He'll limp a little bit on his, every third stride or so, just really struggling to maintain his composure, but just firing off of pure adrenaline. And that last slash, he's looking bloodied, but all things considered, he is still going to make 2 claw attacks and a bite attack in your direction. First claw attack is a 26 to hit for 10 points of slashing damage. DC 17 strength saving throw required to stay standing.
No problem. Strength save?
Yes, sir. 19, you save. You just take it straight to the chest, and he's going to do his second one.
Yep.
Another 26 for 12 points of slashing damage. This time needs another save.
I respect it. I respect it.
You are holding your ground. That second one even more, as his claws don't seem to push you back at all, just more of a dig and pierce, and he has to pull his hand out of your abdomen. And now he is pissed, and he is going to lunge for a bite. 28 to hit. 10 points of piercing damage, and you don't have to make a con save.
Already a werewolf.
He's already got that.
Funny how that works. I know, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, you could do a werewolf and
a werewolf squared.
Ooh, Strahd will be pissed.
A square werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want.
Let's say, gosh dang it, that's not what I want.
Oh, I chose it.
Bye, Radovan.
Okay.
Oh, welcome back.
Alrighty, half of the group here, smelling another intruder coming in from the back. Half of the pack that was trailing right behind Anderson turns around and is snarling with intent at you, Honora, and the other half is moving towards the front to join the fray. But that ends all. Oh, I need to make another roll. It was 4, 6, 8. Now I'm at 10. Okay. Got it. It is now Temperance's turn.
Oh. I'd like to use my. Oh no. Now I'm I'm blasting.
You're gonna
Oh,
lay on the ground
first-
and cry? Yes.
Yeah. First, I'm getting up and I'm moving 15 feet, and then I'm blasting.
Okay.
And you know who I'm blasting at.
Alrighty, yeah.
Oh.
Go.
11 misses, but a 20.
With a nat 1.
But a 20 does hit, so 9 points of force damage. And standing in front of you, Anderson, the spittle of blood as the force beam just plunges into his back, just coughing it onto your face. He is on the brink of expiring. Is that everything for you, Temperance?
That's all I can do.
Alrighty, he is going to
Get
use
up running.
a legendary action to make a swipe, but this is part of his mauling dash. So he is going to make the swipe attack against you. 31 to hit. That's a natural 20 for him.
Oh boy.
Which is 21 plus 7, so 28 total points of slashing damage, and then I need a strength saving throw from you.
In which direction
at
is he
those.
going towards?
Temperance.
I couldn't move far enough with my getting up.
And you are now knocked prone.
Oh,
Unless
that's, I get advantage.
Oh,
on
that's
saving
that's
throws,
right.
'cause
That's
you're-
right.
Yeah.
He's basically raging.
But part of his mauling dash is that he does not take provoke attack of opportunity, so he is going to use 40 feet of movement speed.
Oh, fuck off! You coward!
Not every enemy is intent to fighting to the death. And he is essentially attempting at some sort of retreating. But it is now Anora's turn.
Okay, so the wolves behind me look cowed. The wolves in front of me look aggressive.
Yes, that is true.
All right, I'm gonna run forward my 25 feet,
Okay.
and then I'll misty step again.
Ooh, good use.
30 feet.
Okay.
So that's a bonus action.
And then
I've got nothing. Because I've got my sun sword out. So yeah, no, I'll just actually no, since my sun sword is a sword that I have attuned to, it'll return to me as a bonus action.
Are you gonna
next turn, so
throw
I'm
it?
Toss it. I'm gonna throw
nice.
it.
That's cool. All right.
Um,
At the closest one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, how far is that? You probably have like that's 25 feet. Is a dagger 20 feet and 40 feet?
20 and 60.
Yes.
20 and 60? Okay, so it's past 20 feet, so it's only let me see if there's yeah, they're both just outside at 25 feet, so unless you can find a 5 feet of movement somewhere.
No, I'm at my max movement.
So yeah, it'll have to be with disadvantage.
That's fine. Okay. And then is it just a dex or
Yeah, it would just be
would I have proficiency?
I mean, do you have proficiency in you have proficiency in swords. I'll just say yeah. You can do it.
Okay.
That's fine.
So 16.
Okay, 16 does hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
So 12. We'll do one-handed damage.
Okay, yeah, as you just hurl this thing through the air, this wolf that was chasing after Anderson just pierces right into its back, and it just lets out a yelp before it collapses to the ground, the sun sword just kind of jutting out of its back, just staying firmly planted, but it is
Right. And I
absolutely
want to be
ceased
like,
to exist.
stand down. You won't win this fight. And that's it.
Alrighty. Definitely intimidating, though.
Yes, the little halfling girl.
I
Hiya!
mean, true. That was a very intense video. Like I said, when she like kneeled down at the end and was just like, ah, like I felt it. Anyways, Ramiz, it is now your turn.
Okay. you
Seeing
little bastard.
Kirill on the other side attempting a retreat.
All right. So my question for you is, what kind of line of sight do I have from? Hold on, wait, I need to look at something right quick. Movement speed is 30. So from this spot, what kind of line of sight do I have on Kirill?
Like 2 dire wolves in the way, stone, like I'm gonna say it'll be a +2 to his AC from right there. Kind of, definitely obstructions for sure.
Oh, fuck this guy! He needs to go down! So, I'm going to move over here, and we're gonna take a couple shots at him. And by a couple, I mean 3. So,
Okay.
bonus action, shot. Whoop, that one, that's what I need. Inventory, there we go. I'm going to hit that with a +10 for my War Priest. So that's going to turn that into a 22.
Okay.
So let me mark that one down. That's my Harness Divine Power. Inventory, back to the longbow. Nope, not that one. 26 to hit.
Give me a second.
Yep.
Okay. 26 hits.
Okay, so he'll take another 7.
Alrighty.
And another 26. Oh, and I've been forgetting to keep doing this. I'm going to remember this time. He's marked as my favorite foe, so I'm going to add a D4 to all 3 of those.
Okay. No need.
1, 2. Oh, I just wanted to roll the dice.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to.
Dude, I'm pretty sure you killed him.
As he is running, dashing between the wolves, rounding the stone that are jutted out of the ground as the teeth of this wolf's den, leaping over top of a set of relatively high stones as he's trying to retreat out from the other side of the cave entrance, arrows just piercing right into his back mid-leap, and he doesn't make a smooth landing. Mid-air, the last one pierces into his back, stopping his heart, and just falls face first into the ground.
He's down! Kirill's down! Sorry, I'm being loud.
No, you're
Kirill's
fine.
down! And, I don't have any other movement left, but I will keep my bow up and arrow trained on anybody else that decides to make any sort of move.
Aggressive
against
movement.
Our allies, yeah.
Okay. As you yell that, you see, as the action still just raging furiously against each other, the slashes come to a brief pause as everybody kind of looking around as they're mid-combat to see a Kirill laying motionless to the side of the cave. And everybody just kind of backs up. We'll say combat. Unless anybody here is going to go Anakin and... Yes, Radovan.
Would like to
Everybody.
slay the captives now. I'll just free the last set of captives that I...
Okay.
That's what you meant by going Anakin, right?
Yes, that is exactly
freeing
what
the captives.
that is exactly what I meant. Everybody comes to kind of stand still looking at each other, snarling, and Emil pipes up. No more blood needs to be shed today. He was a tyrant, working for Strahd. We can get back to the way that we used to be. Everybody kind of looking around, waiting for anybody else to say something. I'm going to imagine Honora, Radovan eventually make your way up towards the front of the cave unless you say anything otherwise.
No, I would definitely head that direction.
I pull my arrow and I put it back in the quiver and just look at the field. And I'd probably actually start making my way towards Temperance.
Yeah, I guess I come out and see that I missed all the fighting.
Yeah, Temperance is definitely trying to stem her bleeding a little bit, taking her nice coat and trying to keep pressure on everything.
I'll pull the coat back and I will lay a hand on your shoulder and a dull gray light will come out. And come on now. I will heal you for
Whoa.
17 hit points.
And
As you kind of pull her coat back, you expose a massive bite mark. You can tell that this wound in particular is much different than the others. And given your knowledge of these type of monstrosities, you would know the potential consequences of a wound of this type.
Okay, just sit down for a minute. Keep your guard up, but just relax. I think the fight's over.
Temperance kind of sways, but says, "No, I'm fine. We can keep going." And as soon as things are healed enough, she kind of pulls her coat back and.
Zulika eventually makes her way up to the front, and her and Emil share a warm embrace, hugging. She turns to you, Anderson. Thank you so much. I don't know where we would have been had you not shown up. All of you. I owe you my life. Thank you. All of you need to, and she's turning to address the rest of the clan. We are not your enemies. Strahd is your enemies, and Kirill was working for Strahd. He had made an ally with him. These are the people that will bring us salvation. These are the people that are working against him. We need to rally behind these brave adventurers. They will bring us the time of peace, able to leave these lands for good.
Honora's just gonna lean against the rock cave and just kind of sink down on and hide behind her shield.
You can see that half of the group, the ones that were already actively behind Zulika and Emil, are very receptive to it. The others, however, still continue to look over at Kirill's lifeless corpse on the outside of the cave.
I'm going to go up to the corpse.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at everybody else. Like, we need answers. Why this happened? He's going to look down at the body of Kalika Kurlika? What's his name?
Kirill.
Carol.
Kirill, wow.
Yeah,
Where'd I get Kirill?
It's
You got-
really Zulika.
Yeah, Zulika
Been
is the.
dated for a while.
There we
and-
go. Fantastic. I was putting the two of them together. And I will look down and maybe soft stroke across his head. And a few
Caress his dead body.
A few divine words later. I will cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. As this lifeless body kind of shudders as this spell takes hold, its slack jaw moves around, its eyes fixate. It waits intently.
Look, I know you are a powerful foe. But I fear that might have mixed yourself up in business that you didn't intend on ending this way. Why were you in league with Strahd?
Protection and freedom.
Freedom from what?
Oppression.
I look back at everybody else. Oppression from you? From who?
The mists. Select few were able to leave.
That monster denied you your ability to leave. He kept you here within his own will and fed you lies. And I'm sorry that you served him and gave up your life for him. Where? No.
So we're just so I'm clear, we're at 3 questions.
Correct. 3
Okay.
right now, yes.
So another question.
The rest of you are probably congregating. Yeah. This was a big spectacle, and he had Ramiz had made a show to talk to other people or like address it, and he walked over. So anybody that's there, you can interact with Ramiz if you want to influence questions.
Yes. So Anderson will kind of walk up and kind of address the crowd and say, "This is what Strahd gives you: empty promises. You want to get out of the mists? Gotta help us take him down. You think he can let you out? As far as he's concerned, you're nothing. And he'll dispose of you the moment that you serve no use to him."
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
All right.
Well, didn't even need it.
He's got that charisma.
Yeah, you can see, as even though there's remaining wolves tokens on the map, that all of these have transformed back from their hybrid forms and their wolf forms into humans, and there are, all manner of men, women, standing alongside, listening. And the ones who so greatly opposed you just a few moments ago, majority of them hang their head in disappointment, embarrassment even.
I will gently caress the head of Kirill.
Yeah.
The rest of your clan, where are they? We can offer them protection.
What you're looking at is the majority of our clan. Those few that were loyal followers to me and to Strahd. Some of them are outside of the mists, recruiting. And a sly smile creeps across his face. Otherwise, emotionless eyes staring back at you.
One last question. Ismark, do you know what's happened to him? You must have been close to Strahd to wage an effort on his behalf. Hopefully you've heard something about somebody.
And as the faint glimmer of light that had been brought back to his eyes to answer the question begins to fade with the final question having been asked, his voice gets down to no more than a raspy whisper. Missing. Could not find him. And his head rolls back to the ground, lifeless.
Stand up. Look at everybody around me. That demon is responsible for his demise. Follow him. And I point to Anderson. He will not lead you astray. He will not lie to you. He will not lead you to your own death, but your salvation. The promises of Strahd are nothing. He must be dealt with, and dealt with swiftly.
Zulika.
Otherwise, you will face the same thing that Kirill did.
Zulika steps up to Anderson. It's true. Several weeks ago, he had come to our cave asking for assistance, and in return, I had asked him to find Emil, locked in the cellars of Ravenloft, and he made good on his promise. Emil comes up, joining in. I sat in the cellars rotting for days, waist deep in water, thinking I was just going to be another corpse. They didn't have to save me. They had their own problems, but they took time. They broke the cell door open, and they rescued me. I wouldn't be here if not for these folks. I believe that he is the one that can help get us out of here. And his group of followers. They will be the ones that take down Strahd once and for all, allowing us to be free of these lands. And the wolves, now humans, they seem reinvigorated, given a new sense of purpose, a new goal, a new idea to strive towards. Emil reaches out, strong, calloused hand in your direction, Anderson. It means to shake it.
Yeah, I give him that like warrior's handshake where you grab at like the arm.
Yeah. And as you
yeah,
lock Emil tell us what you need and we will follow. When the final battle begins, we will be there. And kind of looking around, you can see everyone else nodding in agreement. Some of them still a little hesitant, but they seem to know.
We're gonna get more, and we're gonna strike at Strahd where it hurts. You have my promise on that.
And Zulika comes up. I have no reason to doubt you now. You've kept true on any promise that you have made. I know you'll keep true on this one. Where will you all head now? When will you strike?
I think we're headed to Krezk next.
Kind of a nod, a quizzical look, but a nod nonetheless. When do we strike?
The wedding.
How? Clearly, we won't all be able to go and be there at the wedding. How do you suppose that we aid? Is it going to be an attack from the get-go? Is it an infiltration? How do you plan on doing this? Do you have a way to sneak us in? Maybe we can attack from...
We're not sure yet. We need to figure out how many people can get behind us, and then we'll make a decision from there.
Maybe we can take the day. Rest. Talk. Think.
Emil looks at you. The way I left. That room, those flames, that teleportation.
I think it's only one way.
Maybe. But maybe not.
How about this? Why don't we meet in Barovia in a week's time? We'll gather our resources, gather what you can, and we can plan then. Here, Barovia is basically empty. It's probably the safest place.
A week. We will need to recover from our wounds and prepare, but we will be ready.
That gives us a week, a little less than a week till the wedding. And Nora will walk over to Anderson and put her hand on his arm. Let's hope we can make the same difference in Krezk as we made here.
You know, I think we just might.
Well, I'm sure some of you are extremely exhausted. And, Zulika, pipes up. Were any of you bitten during the battle?
Temperance. And I look over at her. She was mauled.
I'll go over to Ramise. You said you would keep her safe.
I did. She's alive. Look, I can't stop everybody from getting hit, but I kept her up.
I can help.
I don't like the way I'm being talked about in the third person here. I'm fine.
You're a bloody mess.
I'll survive.
Zulika sends one of the lower ranking werewolves into the den. She's like, I'll need to treat that. And shortly, a few moments later, comes back out with some leaves, some purplish flowers, and she takes it and grinds it up into a fine powder and then removes the. This is going to sting. And she crushes it and packs the leaves into the wound.
Do I
This-
recognize what they're doing?
Make a nature
Or
check.
can I, yeah, like take in the knowledge of what they're doing? Kind of put two and two together. A nature check. Indeed.
As a druid, that shouldn't be a problem for you.
Yeah, 6.
Depends on the druid. Your D&D Beyond's not working.
It's a 6.
I know. Yeah, 6. It's a 6.
Your Beyond 20, I mean.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do I feel like that we are going to be pretty safe in this cave to eventually take a long rest?
Eventually, as in sometime like right after this conversation. It is still really early in the day. You
Yes.
just got done taking a long rest at Van Richten's Tower just an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what everybody else's plans are, if we plan on staying here for the day, or if we plan on moving immediately.
I think we all need to tend to Temperance's wounds together.
I mean,
let
Each
me
do
She
our
asked,
part.
she
just-
said she was fine. Let's go.
Able to take all the king's horses and all the king's men.
Trust the surly teenager when she says she's definitely fine.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
issues at all.
Probably
Totally
a
fine.
short rest for those that need it, and then I my vote is to leave immediately because I'm fine.
Yeah, you're probably only about a 3.5 hour walk away from Krezk. So even faster if you find another mode of travel to get there.
I will not burn all my spell slots healing people up.
But I think a short rest is fine. We could probably spend
I
an
like
hour
a short rest.
organizing and talking to Zuliga and Emil and offering whatever assistance we can.
Radovan,
John? Oh,
I will say that the only thing that you do know, which like just general herbology, and know of the land, that the herb that was used was wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane.
Yeah, like that. I think that just with the description, you probably would have been able to like just meta knowledge, just know,
Yeah.
but not necessarily know the inner workings of how it works.
John, can you tell me how many hit points I had left before we transferred over to the other screen? Because I don't have that updated in my Beyond sheet, but I have it updated on my character token.
Out of the campaign, he's done.
Fuck.
One doesn't necessarily interact with the other, and Joseph already took my leave, so there you go.
Excuses.
You had 47. It says.
Thank you.
Oh,
Honora walked away, so let's go ahead and take a quick fiver.
Quick 5 to P? Okay.
Yeah,
that's
quick
what I
5 to
thought.
P.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
BRB.
BRB.
Burb.
Managed to kill them with light.
Team. I just wanted to come and.
Oh no, I
say
am
that.
friends with DJ or Andrew. That's right, because we did the Jackbox games.
We're friends too
right.
from
Yep,
Jackbox.
Joseph.
And
But I've never
So
done
just
Jackbox
John.
with you. Well,
Yeah.
that's okay.
just John.
There's John. Even
What?
even Josh is on here. So
Whoa.
Your hours are
I work like
8 to
8 to 8 basically. Is that same as you?
That's the exact same.
Fucking nice. We're gonna have to like go
We're
get
gonna do
breakfast
the same
sometimes.
thing, yeah.
Wait, John. I'm sending you my friend code on Steam.
me too.
All right, I'll add it after session. No, you do it now.
Now, damn it.
Yeah, I even have DJ on here. Do you have
Wait,
a Steam code, Bria? Do you need my Steam chat?
I'm not
Bria
Steam.
doesn't-
I
All
play
out of Steam.
one video game, and it's on Quinn's Xbox, and it is The Sims 4.
Nice.
That's fair. I have
That's
your
my
phone number
only
though.
game. Yeah, you can text me.
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
Steam.
Video games.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Whoville? What?
Sorry, I couldn't hold it any longer. I really had to pee. The tea was going through me.
No, that's okay. Now that I've peed once, I'm gonna have to pee 1,000 times.
Yep.
Hell yeah,
Feel me
brother.
that damn, huh?
Yeah. Alrighty.
Where are my nuts? Where are my nuts?
Nuts?
Where are you?
Nuts.
Wow. What?
You're not.
What? How?
I
What?
found them.
I hope so.
Ma'am.
They're not attached, DJ. Sometimes I put them in the counter.
This is
They're cabinet.
2023. Like, there's no judgment here.
There's plenty of judgment.
Okay.
I'll admit to it.
So many nuts.
Oh, buttered toffee.
God, I feel bad for all this.
The good nut.
They're good nuts, yes. Tasty.
Excuse me.
Context. By the way, sorry that I killed your guy, John. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I was.
I was gonna
hoping
catch
to
up to
have
him
in
next
the
turn
final
and just
battle.
end him anyways. He has a 40-foot move speed. I have a 45-foot move speed. So there.
Oh.
I mean, he was gonna bonus action turn into a dire wolf and get 60 moves.
It's okay. I have daggers to throw at him.
I have unlimited range. Actually,
I
not
could have
really.
turned into a giant eagle.
Yeah, but your range is 600 feet, so it's stupid.
I can still hit without disadvantage, so I'm gonna take it.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna Legolas that guy.
So, the combat has ended. They've all pledged their allegiance to Anderson and his band of followers.
Sorry, the Oprah meme just hit right. I was just like, that's great.
Okay, that's all we are, guys. We're just followers to Anderson now. There you
Yep.
go.
Yep. That's how it is.
We're all secondary characters now. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
No, Nora's still a
Right.
main character too, though. So
Will
Not
cry at
anymore.
his noble sacrifice.
Not anymore. You're not the main character anymore.
Anderson, no.
Why
Why
No.
did you
Nora's
sacrifice
your
yourself to
anti-hero
save
run.
for this?
I have plot immunity. I've been here since the beginning.
Why?
Oh, that's the quickest way to lose that plot immunity. So
Why are we going to Krezk?
To hopefully rally the Kreskians against Strahd. And also, there's a little bit of a plan about replacing
Oh yeah.
Irina with a fake Irina, so that when he tries to marry it, things go terribly wrong.
we're just gonna fuck with Strahd. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before
and then
we murder him.
we'll strike
Yeah,
once he's known he's
disguise.
That can happen.
once Strahd knows he's been cucked, then we strike.
So,
We don't have to cut him.
so Radovan, to
Anderson's
kind of catch you
gonna
up.
Make out with Irina in the back of the church the whole wedding.
Oh my god, that would do.
Yeah.
There is a person known as the Abbot, who resides in Saint Markovia, which is in Krezk. And it is known that the Abbot is trying to create a flesh golem in the likeness of Irina to appease Strahd. That is,
known.
it is known. It is known by at least Van Richten,
Us.
and Van Richten shared that information with you. Technically, you wouldn't even know this because you were flying around as an eagle outside of the tower, keeping watch. But you would have been informed.
Perhaps
We
this
would've
is
told
why
him.
I'm asking it now.
Yeah. Essentially, they were saying their plan of how they plan to infiltrate the wedding and then attack on, during Strahd's wedding night,
Might
right?
as well be dramatic.
To like catch him off guard, like break the truce that they have for the wedding, and bring the fight right there. Rictavio or Van Richten was very, apprehensive, didn't think that it was a good idea. Said like, yeah, sure, you might have allies there, but Strahd's going to have all of his allies there. This is a really bad idea. And like one of your goals is to get Irina safe. So like the final kiss is going to happen, that night, where he, consummates the marriage in a different way than what we would have, traditionally assumed.
A living way.
Yeah. And in order to like prevent that, the goal was to go to the Abbot and try to work with them to create this flesh golem and use it to trick Strahd.
Flesh golem.
Yes, not like a Smeagol, but like
Frankenstein.
Right.
it's like a clay golem or like any sort of other golem that is a construct, but only this one made of flesh in the likeness of.
It's like a sex doll, but better.
The very subjective opinion.
Or worse,
Oh my lord.
because it moves.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
so do with that information what you will.
Yeah, so we're going to Krezk to investigate that line of reasoning as well as trying to sway the town to our side.
You also know that the Abbey of Saint Markovia is also home to mongrel folk.
Yes, which I
The
see
mongrel.
as unnatural abominations.
Yeah, don't be racist, okay?
No, it's just
Look, Temperance might
obscene
finally find a
experiments.
partner there.
Yeah, we're going for Temperance's boyfriend or girlfriend.
I
I
don't really
judge.
know what.
Yeah.
Just anything.
A lot to unpack there.
One
Alrighty.
part platypus, at least.
I mean, they're not
After
all
an
that
hour.
way, but yeah, after an hour, you gain a short rest as the time has settled.
How's Temperance doing?
Temperance?
We'll be doing fine in a moment.
Yeah. Why didn't it just roll all the hit
Is
die at the
she?
same time?
Because it's annoying.
Okay.
Remember, you only get half of them back on a long rest.
That's okay. I've got another 4.
I wasn't necessarily aiming that at you.
Oh.
Who are you aiming that at then?
Whoever. Whoever needed it. Guess we don't get one. Krezk might go horribly wrong. Who knows?
Very true.
All right, I'm back to 50. That feels a little better. Nice big bandage on her neck.
Yeah, Zulika comes over and is inspecting it, and kind of starts to gently scrape away some of the now soaked almost sod-like texture of this crushed wolfsbane, and it just kind of peels out of the wound, and the wound has already started to naturally heal. And I think you're in the clear. If your leg starts twitching uncontrollably, and you get the sudden urge to howl at the full moon, come see me.
I will. Thank you.
I did not want to interfere with your method of healing, but if I may apply my magic, it might save you from scarring, if you will permit me.
I will. Thanks. She's kind of pouty about it.
We can handle kind of pouty.
Just don't sulk too much.
No. Just a little embarrassed she got taken down so hard.
Well, I mean, you're not exactly built for the front lines, so.
Is anyone else wounded? No.
I've got a little bit of damage done to me that I didn't top off with hit dice, so unless you got something that is going to go multiple rounds, I will pass.
I'm fine.
Yeah, Anderson is topped up on health after the short rest.
Yeah, you three gave us your signal a little early out there.
Well,
Temperance, you
guess
get
Carol was faster than we thought he was.
24 hit points.
Thank you.
And you did what you were supposed to do. We got in relatively easy.
Hermes, you get 9 hit points back.
That tops me off.
Anderson, and you said you needed some as well?
No, I don't need any. I'm topped off.
Okay. Very well.
You just wouldn't have been able to see the signal from inside the cave.
Well, I'm just glad that there was a minimum of bloodshed.
All things considered, I suppose.
I'm terribly sorry about Kirill. But I did not feel that his running away would have helped us at all.
Honestly, I was going to do the same thing, so.
Yeah, me too.
It would be risky to let him go and inform his
Just
master.
Slightly conflicted about it, but
you don't get to serve Strahd like that and live.
Working with the beast. Yes, perhaps it was a good thing. But still, taking a life should not be viewed lightly.
He was an
and
animal.
with that, he's going to wander off a little bit into the distance and just stare out.
Should we head out?
One should probably go grab him.
Anderson will walk up and just say, "You need a minute, or you ready to go?"
Any contemplation that I need to make can be done on the road.
Look,
I'll find my peace.
Anderson will just say, "Look, we did what we had to. Imagine what could have happened if Kirill lived."
Oh, I know. I'm aware.
Look, this place. I had morals coming in too. Those have all been tarnished. You have to learn to fight as dirty as this place if you want to live. remember that.
You should remember your morals and remember what brought you into this place. Otherwise, you might sink too far into the depths and find yourself swimming in league with such evils.
Yeah, I remember what brought me in. It's what got me killed. And then Anderson will just start walking off.
Pull the hood over and begin walking alongside him.
Alrighty. So you're leaving the cave and headed towards Krezk?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Is the mode of travel going to be the 3.5 hour walk through the woods?
I think so.
Unless Eagle Daddy wants to give us a ride, but I think
Eagle
we can do it on
Daddy.
foot.
I could turn into a giant eagle.
Might not want to
Carry
make too
on.
much of an entrance. Just
Yeah.
Might
because.
want to save a little bit of that ability.
Perhaps a walk and some peace.
Not
will
my
do it.
favorite way to travel, but if you insist.
Walking or flying?
I prefer to keep my feet on the ground if possible. No offense, but you aren't really meant for travel in that manner. With passengers. Like, you travel fine, but it's cold and uncomfortable.
Is there anything I could do to make it more comfortable for you? Perhaps a repositioning.
Maybe a
Are you
saddle
not
and a blanket?
satisfied with the blanket will not do.
I think
Well,
the walk could
Perhaps
just...
within my claws.
I think the walk would do us wonders.
And we can discuss how future transportations can go on the walk.
That, and we can also discuss with you, offering input on the best ways to deal with the monster that is Strahd.
With Strahd, shouldn't we
Well-
focus on the Abbot? Have you learned much
We don't know
about
what we'll find there.
We only know rumors and hearsay.
Abbot is a holy man, yes? Do I
Supposedly.
know like what faith he represents or anything like that? Do I know much
If
about
I had
this?
to guess, I would say the Morning Lord. Since that is the only religious text we found so far.
Give me a history check with advantage because you've lived in this world a long time.
History check
Unwillingly,
he's
but yes.
making. And he's making a history check. And he remembers how to do that, and it is a...
Wow.
It is a.
I saw a 3
Wait.
pop up.
It's a 3.
Yeah, it's a 3, but I don't know if I did it with advantage.
No.
I don't
No,
even
roll
see
one
the
more.
3.
It's in the D&D Beyond. Gross.
Not a whole lot better.
It's a 7. Are you click?
Oh.
Oh, you don't have a token to click on, do you?
I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Okay.
Oh, a 7, not a 1.
Okay. So
Um,
a 7 total. The only thing that you will know is kind of the history of Saint Markovia. Knowing that that's the reason that the like she was a gosh, I'm trying to think of like the common knowledge. You don't know the abbot's religion, but you know that the abbot came to basically honor and continue the work that Saint Markovia did in in Krezk, of helping the sick and the injured, for little to nothing than just the joy of helping others. So you don't know like the religion, but you know that the abbot is devout and devoted to continuing the work of Saint Markovia.
When did these the residents, have they always been mongrel folk?
No. This is from I guess minor lore that you would have here, despite a terrible history check. That this is just, I guess, common knowledge is that they didn't always used to be that way. When the abbot first arrived a couple hundred years ago, they were successful in continuing the work of Saint Markovia, healing people. But something changed. And during the healing process, people started to develop abnormalities, or abnormalities, like their eyes, if they came in with poor sight, would be healed, but of that of a creature, an animal with better sight or vision. If they had a broken leg when the healing process was conducted, something would change, be replaced by something else, less human. And eventually, after healing, the evolution process just kind of took on its own,
So like a lizard-eyed person would,
mate with a horse duck or a horse foot person, and
yeah.
and they would create an inbred monster of something different.
Are there anybody with swan necks?
I'm not
You'll
gonna
have
get too
you'll
far
have
into
to
details.
you'll have to find out.
That would be so weird.
But so I'll say stuff like, I'll kind of describe the rumors that I've heard in that regard, and if you ask me, he sounds more like some sort of shaman, or I don't know, something darker than what he purports to be, an abbot, a holy man.
Like
Does
a
he-
mad
does he-
scientist?
Sure.
Does he do his work in opposition to Strahd?
I do not know. Certainly St. Markovia's work is to that end.
And
Who's to say if the recipients of these cures are suffering just from whatever monstrosities they've become, or are actually happy with the changes?
I guess we'll find out soon enough their disposition to him.
There was at least one in his service we ran into at the castle, which doesn't bode well on my first impressions of them. But they are a reclusive lot. If he wanted to help the people of Barovia, certainly considering the plague that's in Barovia, more good would be done there. Yet they remain in Krezk.
So it sounds like we need more answers then, or
Maybe
more
they
information.
didn't know about Barovia. That's a lot to put on a small town on the other side.
I suppose. But I worry that we waste our time with this visit, and that we'll find more
How many more days do we have till the wedding? Is it a week?
12?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we've only taken a few long rests
Yeah.
since we found out, so I think 12 sounds about right to me.
How
It was
many?
2 weeks originally, right?
It was.
Yeah.
And we've, I think, taken 2 long rests since then.
Oh, that was
so-
2 weeks time. Yes, yep, about 12 days.
Oh,
Well,
given that we have some time to kill, pardon the pun, but finding as many allies as we can might be useful for us. And if
there's
Krezk
a lot
can
of. Oh,
do
go ahead.
that, if Krezk can do that, then it might serve us to bring him in league with us.
Look,
Very
there's
well.
a lot of risk here, but there's also a lot of reward if things go right.
Unfortunately, we don't have any mongrel folk amongst our number to be a spokesperson and become a charismatic leader to rally behind.
We don't need charismatic leaders for people like this.
What do we need then?
You listen.
Maybe a
You offer
common
up
enemy.
like, common enemy doesn't hurt. You let them think you're on their side. You play along. It gets you more information than being brash and being right.
Perhaps we'll see what kind of holy man this is. I find that they're often wont to expound their ideas and enforce them on others anyway.
Radovan, when's the last time you were in Krezk?
I don't think I've ever really. Maybe if I've avoided it.
The so the town is much smaller than the rest. It is and has been for quite some time very self-sufficient. Almost recluse, secluded, never really venturing out or conducting trade with the other towns. They have kind of isolated themselves on the western side of Barovia, and everything that they need is already within their walls. So they normally don't really even entertain visitors or guests unless you have something to offer.
It's not a place I've entered before. It has never really concerned me.
Well, first time for everything, I suppose.
Indeed.
We don't have to stay here. We don't have to linger long. Just see what they are about, and well, if it does not look like it could go in our favor, then move on.
Do we have an exit strategy?
Sorry.
Run?
I can turn into
Sorry.
a giant eagle and carry us all away.
I mean, an exit strategy that doesn't involve us running away or murdering everyone. Not that I'm above a little murder, but
I'm
I think
going
we'll need more information. I'm even concerned whether we'll be allowed within the walls at this
and
point.
I have no intention of murdering anybody. As he looks quizzically over at Temperance.
Just places like this, you wanna be on the same side for how to get out.
Yes, but I find that fewer dead bodies tend to lead to being on the same side.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So let's just make sure that we murder a minimum of people. And this queasy look comes over my face at the thought of murdering anybody.
Like you just did.
Served a purpose.
That's this place for you. Each death gets easier and easier.
Don't trouble yourself too much. Remember that these are all souls trapped here, recycled for vampire. Hopefully, they will be recycled back rather than obliterated, and we will defeat Strahd in time to release them.
I would hope that we could end the cycle instead of contributing to it, however. There are others in this land, much like ourselves, that have come here. And I would be upset if we were to contribute to the feeding of that cycle.
Honestly, they're better off as souls than as food.
I'd rather get them out. And he'll pull the cloak a little tighter and just wander further up.
He hasn't been here very long. You can tell.
He'll learn. Painfully, probably, but he'll learn.
Part of the reason I want to escape this place so bad is because it's such a warped sense of reality.
Yeah.
It messes with your head, it messes with your emotions, it messes with your morals. It's getting easier, Anderson. It's getting easier to kill.
Well, I can agree with you on that. Honestly, I'm just thinking about the end goal here.
Hope we can convince them to help us. And honestly, if they choose not to, we'll just leave them alone. We don't need to bother them. Lives are hard enough.
I can agree with that.
But it's worth asking.
We'll see
Temperance.
how it goes.
Temperance, you wrote in your journal before you went to sleep. And
I did, and I haven't had the chance to look at it.
during the travel time, kind of lag back just a little bit, still keeping with the group, but far enough away that they can't necessarily peer into your book. Flipping to the page where you had previously wrote, you find a new passage. Your path shrouded by many deaths, innocent and sinful all the same. Fight to remove Strahd's final breath, to return your world from this demon's claim.
Fuck yeah.
I'll pull
Sorry,
out
this is
my
always so exciting when I get a little.
yeah. I'll pull out my familiar and have it kind of scout ahead of us. It'll fly up. It's a hawk, so it'll fly up and it'll kind of circle ahead and look for anybody on the road or any dangers. And every once in a while, I'll just reach out and grab Anderson and focus through its eyes, and then, you know, and then keep walking.
After a few hours of travel, eventually making your way to the road, finding it easier to be able to navigate to the village of Krezk from the road itself. Using your eagle to scout ahead, you are able, or your hawk rather, not eagle, your hawk to scout ahead, you do eventually see the snow-covered mountains starting to draw closer. You see smoke rising in the distance, not like a roaring inferno of smoke, but the natural smoke of a fireplace burning and the smoke leaving through a chimney over the top of a small village. Eventually, stone walls creep into view as you're looking in the distance. These stone walls encircling the entirety of the small town, butting up very close to the mountain and even scaling the side. You can see just barely through your hawk's vision in the distance a long switchback going back and forth up several hundred feet above the main town to what you can only presume is the abbey. It looks quiet, peaceful even. The forest itself even kind of built into the town, which kind of makes sense given their self-sufficient nature. Looks warm and inviting. Still a little ways off.
Road's clear.
So you don't see any sort of activity along the road. The
Which
woods.
is not unsurprising because we've never really seen a lot of travel on any of the roads.
That is very true. The woods seem clear. Even the wildlife seems distant. Don't hear the active cawing of ravens or rustling of wildlife below in the brush. But you're able to make it. Let me find. Walking along the roads, you eventually see a part where the road branches off north, and it climbs up this rocky landscape. It ends at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. If you don't know what a buttress is, it's basically just like a reinforcement on the side of a wall that's meant for, really long buildings
And I thought
to
it
give
was
them.
a butt and a dress.
Yeah, it starts with butt.
Yeah. Beyond the wall, you see tops of snow-covered pines and thin wisps of smoke. As you're walking up this pathway towards the gate, you hear the somber toll of a bell coming from deep in the mountains, high above this main settlement. The steady chime seems inviting. It's a relatively welcome change to the deadly silence and oppressive fog of which you've grown accustomed to throughout the lands of Barovia. Eventually making your way to the gatehouse, do you just make a direct approach?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Is Anderson taking the lead on this?
I mean, he's probably in. I mean, I assume like him and Honora are like in front, would be my guess.
Okay.
That means you have to pace it to my speed because I'm slower than all of you.
Yeah.
Before we get into what Ramiz would consider a I should say,
I'm
if
listening.
he sees anybody pops up, from the buttresses or the walls or any gate or anything like that. Ramiz would tap Anderson on the shoulder and be like,
Do y'all see the house in the background?
"Speak strong words and speak with conviction."
I'll show you guys that afterwards.
And I would
Oh, I do see
give
that.
him guidance.
And perhaps it would help if you could change part of your arm into a wolf's arm, or
I
don't
have
know,
a
do you have
dragon
that
shield. Does
ability?
that help? The dragon. My shield.
John, I would leave that up to you. Is the transformation like an all or nothing thing?
Keep dragging that shield around.
Yeah, I am.
Because like I would assume no, but I'm leaving this up to DM discretion.
Especially because your wolf form is so different than standard werewolf.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like controlled werewolf.
Yeah. I would say yes, I'll allow it. Like your arms or your hands, or like even like some of your facial features becoming more wolf-like, pointed, if you will. Your teeth even maybe changing kind of shape or structure. Yeah, I'll say you can.
Okay. So for right now, Anderson will have like his left arm kind of turn into like the like a werewolf arm,
Okay.
and he'll make his teeth more like more pointed with more like a canine's jaw for right
Okay.
now.
Now, just to be clear, your duster or your large leather cloak kind of covers or not cloak, but coat covers the majority of your arm.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything to expose that feature, or is it just a soul like? Yeah, that side bulges a little bit.
So the way I imagine, so he doesn't have his hands covered, so like his hand would be visible, but I
Okay.
think he's gonna try to play up the part of maybe he's been trying to like hide it from everywhere else, so he has the coat still like on for right now.
Okay, got it.
What do you think, Temperance? Is this your kind of cunning? Seems
I
that
like
he's on
Anderson's method.
his side, yes.
We can propose him as a mongrel.
Whoa.
No offense, Anderson.
None taken.
I'll have the hawk fly down and land on my shoulder.
Full offense, Anderson. Just wanted to throw that one out there.
Temperance is a bitch.
Anderson will just chuckle and say, "You'll need to do better than that."
That is just
So,
like you.
Are we walking up together, like all 5 of us? Are we walking up 4 of us and Ramis is in the woods taking a dump? Like, what's going on here?
I'm sticking with you guys at this point.
But like, are you like behind us? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the first moment that I see somebody else pop up from the gates or anything like that is when I would be tapping Anderson to give him the guidance with any sort of communication.
So as you're getting within like eye and earshot of like the gates, you see these. I mean, you've seen them as you're walking up, but these 2 square towers, with kind of like these are towers. Like they flank this stone archway, and inside that stone archway, you see these 12-foot tall, iron-bound wooden doors, and carved above at the top of the arch, you see the word Krezk. As you see on top of the walls, extending to either side, these 20-foot walls, on top of the parapet, you can see 4 figures already, just kind of like their shoulders just above, sticking out. You can see they're wearing like these fur hats and clutching spears, and they watch you.
Temperance is still all bloodied, so that's good.
Oh, she's healed up.
No, she's healed up, but she still got blood all over her. She
Looks
didn't take a
like
bath.
I need some healing.
Nobody decided to prestidigitate her? What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, the person that does that fucked right off. So
Yeah,
Somebody else didn't learn the goddamn trick.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. We lost our prestidigitator.
Yeah.
You did.
The only thing he was useful for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Fuck slow. Fuck the giant.
We realize it
monkey.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the important thing. Keeping clean. You guys all stink.
We do.
Wonderful.
100%.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Uh
We
huh.
have just
There's a lot of BO
stayed
going
in
on
werewolf
around
skin.
here.
There's nothing to prestidigitate us.
There's a lot of musk and pheromones floating in
Nora's
the air.
never been this dirty.
Maybe that explains why everybody's got such an attitude and disposition amongst themselves. Y'all need a bath.
Yes.
Right. As you guys are getting closer,
I will tug on Anderson and be like, let's ask, like we're seeking asylum, refugee status. I mean, we look like shit, and so it should be believable.
Yeah. Just play it. As long as we play up the part, I think we can do it.
I'll message
Oh,
Temperance and be like, can you act more injured?
Oh, I can act. Temperance, like, really, like, hands up, like, her shoulder really hurting, and, like, she fakes a limp. She can't keep it the same on either leg.
as you get closer, one of the guards kind of steps up, and you can see more of his body. Maybe he stepped up onto, something in the back.
Soapbox.
Yeah, some sort of box to get. Hey, you stop right there! Don't come any closer.
Oh, they sound like Hicks.
They're wearing like raccoon hats.
They are
They're
Hicks.
wearing, like,
Okay,
Russian fur
fantastic.
hats.
Well, I mean, they're isolated from the rest of the Barovia. It makes sense. Go ahead.
Anderson will just kind of hold up his hands, like the werewolf hand, like clearly exposed, and just say, "We mean you no harm. We're just looking for a safe place for right now."
So you're clearly attempting to show your.
And I'm like different.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see that this initial nervousness of you coming up to the gatehouse now turns to fury. His brow furrows. He is pissed.
That backfired.
Get the rest of the guards. It's one of them mongrel folk. They're coming to steal our graves.
Well, that backfired hilariously.
And like you hear multiple like footsteps just scurrying up the wooden platforms behind, and you see like bows and arrows. Don't come any closer.
I'm sorry for my friend. I will control him. I'll stand in front of Anderson, all 3 foot of me.
I will come up and aid in the standing in front of as well, since she is little.
We were sent by oh shit, what's his name? Fuck. What's the guys in the tower?
Rictavia.
Rictavia.
Yeah, Rictavio.
We were sent by Rictavio. He mentioned that the abbot would help us.
Look,
Please,
we
can
mean no harm.
We just want to speak to the abbot.
I'm sorry, we're not going to let you in here to speak to the abbot. We're not really on good speaking terms with him.
Look.
Oh. Is he outside of town? Can we just go see him?
No, we're doing you a favor. You don't need to go seeing him. He's up in the abbey. Get Dimitri.
Look, we mean no harm. We're just sad travelers looking for a place to just rest for a little bit. Forgive them. Forgive the creature that you see in front of you. He means no harm. He means no foul. And there will be no digging of graves. And I will stare at Anderson. Under our protection.
Anderson, just in his like most grumbly voice, says, "No, sir. No digging of graves.
You're gonna have to just wait right there. I'm not qualified to make this decision, but you guys need to stay put. If you make any moves, put an arrow in them.
We'll stay put.
Gonna look back at them. Oh, that could have gone worse.
I'm not sure how
Could have gone
worse.
a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know what we do now. This isn't what I expected.
Just wait for this Dimitri to come down. I'm sure we can.
Did we think that this whole town was populated by mongrel folk, or did we just not know?
Don't know. Never been to...
Until probably a few days ago, we didn't really know much about Krezk.
I hadn't even heard of it.
You were there when Rictavia was saying everything.
Okay, but
it made sense that this was going to be.
It was a name on a map.
All right, just put away all weapons. Don't look as unthreatening as possible.
Wait, maybe if one of you guys like ties up my hands or something, that might create some form of trust. I don't know.
Let's remain standing where we are and treat with this Dimitri, and we will take it from there. Remember, we're here to treat with the Abbot.
Again, if they turn us away, we don't have to stay.
Indeed.
We don't have to force our way in.
I think forcing our way in would probably be counterintuitive.
That's why I said we don't force our way in.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, so I thought you said force your way in. I was like,
no.
Sorry.
I mean, them staying out of the fight is almost as good as them helping us.
I've been kicked in the head a few times. Sorry, a little hard to hear.
The one that's been speaking to you the most, or really the only one that's been speaking to you so far, chirps out again. How many other of you are afflicted?
Just the one. But we do have an injured member.
Lift up your pant legs. I want to see your feet.
You can't get that for free, buddy.
Do you guys remember when Nicodemus had to get naked to go into town?
Oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh my god, yeah.
So, Nora will be like, hands up or pants up? Which one do you want?
I just want to see your feet. Make sure you ain't got one of them webbed foot or hooved feet.
I'd have to take my shoes off.
He kind of peers out there a little closer, pulls out like a little, and is looking.
Spyglass to look at our feet, you fucking weirdo.
And
like creeping into somebody's house with that
Radovan shows.
Anderson, can you revert?
I mean, I can, but
I don't know that it'll make it any better.
They already think something's up. What would that do?
I begin untying
maybe we could say that they saw something
and pulling them off.
Too late
they
now.
didn't. They're not close to us. Maybe they think they saw something. They don't know what.
We've already identified him as a mongrel folk as I take off the other boot.
But they could have thought they saw it and been wrong. And when we said afflicted, it could have been her injuries that we were talking about. Everything's been at a distance, and everything has been hard to see, and we haven't confirmed mongrel at all.
Gonna fucking gaslight these town guards.
I show my feet. Look here! No web toes.
Yeah. So while he's taking the shoes off to distract them, drop the.
Well,
I don't think that's a good idea because then we're all under suspicion.
For nothing. For what he thought he saw?
Well, I mean, if they look at my hand up close and they see it's human, it might work. I mean, John, what time of day is it? Is it like kind of closer to night?
It's like noon.
Yeah.
Like you guys woke up in the morning.
Like 100, like 50, 60 feet from the.
Yeah, but he's got a spyglass. He probably looked at the hand first.
Looking at the feet.
Hand and foot.
It's worth a shot. It can't get us in any more trouble than we're already in.
Well,
I mean,
John's already
God.
rolled, so let's see what happens.
It's up to Andrew.
I mean, you don't know what I was rolling for.
Yeah, it's really up to Andrew.
mean-
Worst case scenario.
I'm kind of whispering this to him, or actually,
Yeah.
I'm messaging this to him because that's like just a better version of whisper.
I mean, they only did get to see the look on like the hand once. So while he's using the spyglass to like look at feet pics, I'm going to just put my arm like kind of like behind my back and quickly just put it back to like a human hand.
Okay. What do you do with that hand once you've changed it? Do you just leave it
put
back
it-
there?
Put it in my pocket for right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to be like casual about it, but yeah, it.
Pulls out a teacup, pinky out.
Funny.
I
and
swear,
gross, by
they're
the way.
human.
He casually runs his hand through his hair.
Okay. A few moments go by of this conversation deciding what Anderson should do. And eventually you see a similarly dressed furs, like a coat that is kind of lined with fur with a hood that's kind of pushing up towards the back. And this extremely overweight, dark-skinned male figure climbs up onto the parapet, probably maybe 5
Sweat.
foot tall, extremely short. There's no way you would have been able to see him if he was just standing behind. I'm told I have visitors that are coming to this establishment. What business do you have here?
We seek an audience with the abbot.
I'm sorry, you will not be permitted to enter.
On what grounds?
You have nothing to offer, and I
We
do not.
haven't been asked to offer anything. We might have lots of things to offer. What kind of offering would you like?
I don't think that it could offset the horrific deeds you'll probably do when visiting the abbot.
Well, we don't necessarily have to talk to the abbot. Are you in charge?
I am the burgomaster here at Krezk.
Oh, it's fantastic to meet you. We actually, first off, my companion is injured, and I'll point to Bria. She was attacked by wolves on the way in, and we're just looking for refuge. If it's money, we have a little we can pay.
We are perfectly sufficient here. We grow our own crops. We harvest our own wood. We have no need of import or export outside of wine.
What
Which,
about
unless
oh,
you happen to have casks of wine that we've long overdue from the Wizard of Wines. We haven't received a shipment in nearly 2 months.
You didn't hear about what had happened? I'd love to tell you what happened to the Wizard of Vines if you wanted to come and talk to us. Yelling like this is really hard. But I mean, I promise you, we can put our weapons away. We don't have to come inside. But I'd love to tell you what happened to your shipment.
No, thank you. Knowledge is not of any use to me. Do you have wine on you by chance?
No, but I know where you can get some.
Hmm.
Also labor. We've got some strong bodies here. We can offer some labor or some assistance for just a night's rest. That's all we're asking. Safety.
You'll have to stay in my barn, as we don't have inns or needs for them. We only have residence for those that live here, and you're not a resident, so you'll have to make do where the horses lie.
It would not be the worst thing I've ever slept in.
So you're allowing us entrance then, based on the ongoing discussion.
Except for... which one was it? You there, in the glasses, you cannot permit. You are not permitted to enter.
May I ask why?
Mongrel, filthy.
I'm sorry, a what?
I was kind of confused when they called me that as well. What do you mean by mongrel?
Half-breed,
inbred.
I'm not a half elf, sir.
No. You've got animal parts. You're inhumane. You're something else.
Animal.
I've been
parts.
traveling with him for months now, and I guarantee you he doesn't have any animal parts.
I was told that you have the claws of a wolf or a beast.
Give him the spyglass, you buffoon. Look at his hand. And I'm shouting this at the other guy that the burgomaster is now.
Make a deception check as the lead guard hands the spyglass to this plump burgomaster Dimitri, and he's looking.
Show me your hands.
Am I getting the help action from others?
I mean, I've showed my bare feet at this point. I don't know if that helps out at all.
Yeah.
You're sitting there with no shoes on.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, we're all trying to perpetuate the fact that Anderson is not a mongrel, which is the truth.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Is he a wolf boy? Yes. Is he a mongrel? No.
Is he a half breed? 100%.
Take off your coat. Need to be certain.
Fine. Anderson takes off his coat.
I think your guard was mistaken. Maybe it was the glare of the sun.
There is no sun.
And then he kind of looks off into the distance and sees like the beam of light.
You mean that sun?
Why is it that you are wearing sunglasses in these dark places?
Sir, my eyes are just very sensitive to light. Even in this darkness, it's still blinding half the time.
Come close.
And honestly, and how many people sit in their houses with the blinds closed, not wanting to look at the dismal nature of this land?
I'm sorry, sir, you must not understand how blinds work. Blinds stop you from being able to see, or only allow minimal lights. Those glasses are not stopping him from seeing the abominations of this land. They're only making it dimmer, more difficult for him to see, or perhaps hiding something.
This fucking guy.
He's great.
So sorry.
And he's right.
Sorry, what's he asking for now?
You could have platypus eyes.
He's asking
Does
for
have
you
platypus
to
eyes.
remove your glasses.
Show us those goat eyes.
Ew.
Anderson will just say, I mean, sir, I can. It's just, again, my eyes are really sensitive to light. I might be able to keep them up for a few seconds, but even that might be kind of difficult.
Your admittance hinders upon such actions. You show me, or you will not be permitted to enter.
Anderson will just look around to the others and say, like, yes, no, like, do we have a
Do
choice?
you have fucked up eyes?
He does.
Yeah,
He has wolf eyes.
I have the eyes of a werewolf. That's my mark.
Oh.
Temperance just like very intensely looks at you and like squints, like to say, if you take them off, just start squinting so he can't actually see very well.
In your head, does anybody have any illusion magic? Because I
Nope.
don't.
All right. Anderson will
Wait,
take
I have energy. Oh wait, does that only work on you?
I think it only
Yeah.
works on you.
Yeah, don't think it
Yeah.
works on other people.
Yeah, I can only
Alright,
change my eyes, not yours. Sorry.
So Anderson will like take off his sunglasses, but do like one of these to make it look like he's trying to like block off like light. Try to like he's taking 10% of eyes, trying to like squint his eyes as much as he can.
Okay. As you do so, and you're kind of shielding, you can see
And then
him.
I'm gonna try to like, whatever sunlight there is, I'm gonna try to glint it off my shield to make it worse.
Okay.
At the burgomaster, not at Anderson. Just like I accidentally, if there's any light at all in this area, just kind of ding it off to help. So it's a very
Yeah.
shiny shield.
as the burgomaster kind of extending the lens as far as it'll go, leaning forward, trying to get a better view, begins to topple and loses his balance just for a moment and regains his composure. But the spyglass falls, shattering onto the ground in front of the wall, and now he stands there squinting.
He doesn't seem to be of a mongrel folk. I swear I saw it. I saw he had a hand of a wolf. Well, he doesn't have one right now, so you must be mistaken.
Do I hear that
I know it's a
conversation?
Fucking save.
Yeah.
You're
Gaslighting
more
for
than
the
welcome
win.
to shake his claw that you think you saw.
Fucking shut up, Ramis!
No, hold on. You're more than welcome to shake the claw that you thought you saw, but at the end of the day, all you will grab is just a fleshy, meaty hand. And that's it.
Don't need to be hostile to these people. They're trying to let us in.
All right, enough of this pageantry. Come up to the door, we'll let you in. But I swear, you make one false move,
Thank you.
you'll be
Thank
gone.
you so much. We really appreciate this. Temperance lamp.
You will be put to work
Temperance badly limps.
to cover your stay. We have no need for gold, as we do not spend any, so you will have to pull your keep while you are here.
I
We
think
promise.
I think that can be arranged.
The guard helping Dimitri down. I swear I saw it. I know what I saw.
You buffoon, you dragged me out here for nothing.
God, gaslighting is fun.
Believe wolves have paws, not hands. Anyway, it's an odd dance you're doing there, Temperance.
Eventually, the iron-bound wooden doors, like a loud clanging noise as they open. You hear, you see the people on the inside, dragging the doors
Do that,
back.
Raven.
Welcome to Krezk.
Thank
You'll
you.
find everything you need right here. Food, terrible housing, but it's
Safety
all
of
we have.
walls. We'll be able to sleep tonight without having the fear of the wolves in the forest.
So tell me, what is it that you wanted from the abbot?
Can we go inside somewhere? Sitting in the street is not conducive to good conversation.
I suppose we can go to my home. It is quite a mess. My wife has been. Well, that's never mind. Let's go.
If you'd like, we can sit down and I can give us some refreshment. You mentioned wine, that you really missed wine. I have a little.
It numbs the senses a little bit. But please come in. We'll go to my humble cottage. Shut the doors. Make sure no one else comes in for the day.
Hey, DM, when he was talking about his wife, can I do a quick insight to see like how nervous he was acting?
Yeah, sure, you can give an insight check.
Okay, that just seemed a little sus to me.
Two things. One, the conversation about the wife, where he was basically saying that his wife wasn't necessarily in a good spot, and then the comment about the wine dulling the senses. You get the feeling that his wife's mental health probably isn't the best state, and that he even himself, hoping for wine, is probably looking for some sort of reprieve from the oppression of the lands. But
I'm schmoozing super hard.
okay, making your way through this very small town. One thing that immediately catches your eye, having been to Valaki and Barovia both, you know that it is much better kept. The cottages, while humble, are in a state of good repair. There's the the pathways stay relatively clean. No massive holes constantly. They're filled back in with sod. The wheelbarrows that are transporting goods throughout the town are all in a good state of repair. Everything looks clean, in good shape. You see several small plots of vegetables as you're walking through the town. Gardeners tending to them. This is a nice little commune that they have set up. You eventually make your way. Go ahead.
Do the villagers look like they're scared? Do they look like they're
Curious.
What is their perception before they see us and then as they see us? Like, do they look hopeful at us? Do they look nervous that we're here?
Have they ever seen an elf?
One thing.
Bushy ears, beautiful raven black hair, smelling
Moody
like
attitude.
I've never seen such a handsome man before.
beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, that's true for Joseph as well, but.
Oh yeah,
Right.
both in and out of character.
Yeah. Ramiz, for you haven't been here long enough to get a good feel for. Give me a perception check.
Sure, yeah. I have
That's what he's
no
good
problem with
at.
that.
It'll be a 3. It's impossible.
Okay. Looking around, again, this isn't a large town. There's not hundreds of people scurrying about the streets. There's probably, I don't know, a couple dozen that you've encountered, including the guards. And one thing that you've noticed is that there's a wide range of general emotion. You see probably even close to half of the villagers showing absolutely zero emotion. Their face almost expressionless. The rest of
Similar to what we've seen before with the soulless.
Yes, for everyone outside of Ramiz that doesn't know, that is something that you've encountered at every village that you've gone to. And so when they meet your gaze, you see nothing. No curiosity, no fear, no hopefulness. It is just a blank stare. And then they return to whatever they were doing. The rest of the villagers, those that show the emotion, you don't get any negative reaction. It's somewhat hopeful, somewhat more like the excitement of the new kid that comes to school. The idea, the curiosity of getting to know new faces. These folks have been isolated into this town for so long with only themselves to interact with. New people being welcomed in is a rarity, and you get the feeling that if you were ever alone and not escorted by the burgomaster, some would probably approach you. Eventually, you make your way to the burgomaster's cottage, and notice that it's the same as all the rest, roughly the same dimensions. Very, very small. As you step inside this humble place, it's basically like a studio. Virtually everything's in there, probably only about 200-300 square feet. Very, very small. Small table off into the side. A wood-burning stove off into another corner.
Does it seem nicer than the other ones we saw from the outside?
No.
Or same quality?
Same quality.
So it doesn't look like he's taking too much from the town besides all the food.
Because he's fatter than everybody else.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a thyroid issue, Honora.
Maybe he's just big boned. Wow.
Yeah.
Way to be ableist.
But he sets some of you down on chairs and walks over, and you can see a figure covered up, laying in bed, covers drawn kind of like up to their neck, and he walks over to her.
Honey, I'm sorry, we have some guests. You don't have to entertain them. You can stay right there, but I just want to let you know, as far as I'm aware, they are good people. You join in conversation if you would like, but you can lay there and I'll make sure they don't disturb you.
Okay, I like him a lot better now.
And he kind of pulls over like a wooden chest to sit on, like finding bits and pieces, a stool, like just anything that you can sit on to make you comfortable. And
Honora will pull out the alchemy jug from her pack. Are you thirsty? I've got some wine or beer, your choice.
Or mayo, if he wants to drink that.
Some acid. It's whatever.
And at the mention of wine, you hear covers rustle, and like she turns her head.
I didn't know you would be bringing guests with wine. You should have said that.
And she, a very, very slender woman, not frail looking, but extremely slender, and she sweeps her legs over, and she's in like an ornate nightgown. Like it's not moth eaten. It's relatively well taken care of, like a blue, like a baby blue with like a white hem, and she sits down and places her feet in some fur slippers.
Does she have the same soulless look in her eyes, like she's going through the motions of, hey, this is what I do, or does she have the little spark of life like some of the others?
Give me an insight or a perception check.
Well, I mean, if you're going to let me choose, I'm going to choose perception.
I would like to make this too. And I will use Cosmic Omen to increase.
For 4 chances at advantage. Or whatever the fuck it does.
Jeez. You really want to know this.
I think it's interesting.
You can just have some glasses.
I saw
4
13.
uses, and I get to add a d6.
Wait, where can you see this? Is this in the game log?
It's
Yeah.
under D&D
It's
Beyond,
only-
under the
yeah.
campaign, Curse of Strahd.
So he rolled a 15.
A 15.
15 total? Okay.
Yeah.
Ramiz, or I guess Radovan, you see a face that, from an outward appearance, seems soulless. However, the eyes tell a different story. Sorrow. You can see it. Well, the face is expressionless, going through the motions. The eyes, you can see, are one that is deeply pretending to be okay. Ramiz, you see the same thing. And you also catch a locket on her neck. And as she sits up, the hinge, the clasp that holds it close, weak from constant use, flings open enough for you to be able to see a picture of a young boy. Probably as very, very, I guess, what do you, preteen? What is that, 11, 12? Is that what you call it?
Mhm.
Yeah, preteen.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
Pre-pubes. The pre-pube years.
Yeah.
And there's no other little bed in the room or evidence of any child in the room now, is there?
You, with a 26 perception, seeing that, you would end up seeing underneath of the bed, kind of down at the foot, you would see a smaller pair of shoes. You would also see a loft, like above the like the dining room portion, just a very narrow, almost bunk bed style, just a ladder up the side of the wall, just big enough to put like some sort of resting place. Whether or not you can't necessarily see what's up there, but it does look like there would have been space for another resting spot.
Okay. Keep that all up here in that little old noggin of mine.
Yeah.
Well, if you get some glasses, I don't have enough for the whole town, but I have enough for an afternoon. And I'll do a dramatic magic word on the alchemy pot to summon some wine, make it look all fancy.
And she thanks you as she accepts a glass. Dimitri speaks up.
So, tell me again, what is it that what business do you have with this Abbot of St.
We heard-
Markovia?
We heard there was a great healer who is trying to continue the work of Saint Markovia, and there are other towns that are in need of healing, and we sought to seek help.
This whole land is in need of
We
healing.
sought help or aid or guidance, but it has been some time since the villages have communicated with yours.
Ah, yes, we have secluded ourselves from the bustle of the. We keep to ourselves, and Strahd keeps to himself. We don't get all mixed up in the politics of things.
Well, I believe that he overreached and got mixed up in your politics because he kidnapped the Wizard of Wines, and they're now in his castle, forced to make wine for only him.
Ah. Well,
We just
that
sent
is.
them there 2 days ago.
It's quite unfortunate. But I suppose we will carry on as we have the last couple months. No need to.
That means no more wine ever. This is the last of it.
Well, there are other means of refreshment outside of wine. We have an incredibly clear crystal lake that feeds in from the mountains, a spring, if you will. Quite refreshing. I encourage you to try it sometime before you depart.
Thank Thank you. That's very kind.
Now,
How did you come to Krezk?
my family has run Krezk for generations. I am the 5th burgomaster of my... And you see his eyes trail off of, of, of my lineage.
Is everything okay?
Ah, yes, sorry, distracted. You were talking about a great healer, of course. The Abbot, rather, when he first came to town, from what my ancestors passed down through story and journals and things, he was a great healer at one point in time, but somewhere...
Is he an elf?
No, he's I don't know, he's otherworldly, I can tell you that. His skin gleams, it has a radiance about it. He's pale, very, very handsome fellow, I would say, if I were to be of one to judge someone's appearance, I suppose. But I have no idea his history fully.
But he's been here for generations, you said.
Yes, a long time. When he came here, he was accepting people coming in, curing their ailments, but something changed. Broken limbs turned into webbed feet, arms twisted, mutated, eyes replaced with those of newts. The deformities became something else, and he harbored them up there in his abbey, allowing them to stay, and recently they have been plundering our graves. For what, I have no idea. I don't associate with him. He lives up there, and as long as he keeps to himself, I don't see any reason to go bother him.
Do we have your permission to go talk to him?
Well, I suppose that depends.
On
Your allegiance.
allegiance to what?
To at
I
least
sympathize
not...
with-
pardon me, I'm going to finish my thought, and then you can continue with whatever you were going to say. As long as you promise that you will not create yourself an ally with him.
Why?
Because his despicable acts of vile, nothing good in the past 100 or so years.
What if we can get him to leave your town?
Well,
Or fix whatever wrong you perceive of him.
I find that incredibly difficult to believe that you would be able to do. The wife stands up, goes over and whispers into his ear. No, I won't have it. Not here, not ever. I don't... You will not speak of that again. Sorry, I apologize. Where were we?
I'll give him another glass of wine. I've got a gallon, so I'm trying to dole it out to just them.
You can only go to the Abbey if you promise not to make allies of those mongrels. Don't bring additional trouble down here to our village. We have enough of it as it is already.
I'm so sorry. I'm so confused. So they sound like there's different concerns here. Like us making allies with the Abbey shouldn't affect your village, especially if we plan to leave your village in a day or so and travel back to where we were going originally.
You will be duped. They are not to be trusted.
Oh, We
cruel
appreciate your
intentions
insight.
only.
Okay. What? How do you feel about Strahd again?
I'm sorry. Uh, and looking over to Radovan, you were going to say something. I cut you off, and I wanted to finish my thought. Now we've skipped around a little bit, and I'm backtracking to you.
I was merely going to say that we are not grave robbers, so we will not be aiding in that business. You can be assured of that. I am interested to hear more about how this conflict began and if your ancestors' journals reveal anything about what you said 100 years ago.
Probably longer than that, I suppose. It's been a while. I do know that. Long enough for them to breed and mutate into hideous creatures. Vile beings. They come down from the hillside and the mountainside, and they pillage our graves at night.
You mentioned that, and I'm sorry for that. That is despicable. But I asked, how do you feel about Strahd? You mentioned that he leaves you alone, and you leave him alone, and that's the alliance you have with Strahd? The same alliance you have with the Abbot?
Essentially, I suppose, we have resigned to our fate and make the best of it over here, and so far, with our fortifications being of stone and not the primitive wood that Vallaki uses, we feel relatively safe from any sort of siege that might be taken upon this land.
Being that you make your own food, that is very smart. So if our goal was to remove the Abbot from your area, as well as removing Strahd from his, would you be opposed to that?
You look over and you see the wife while she's staring down into her glass of wine and hearing you talk of removing the abbot from the abbey. A tear runs down her cheek, falls down plunking into the glass of wine, and she wipes her cheek.
I'm so sorry. There's something that just seems to be troubling your wife. Look, we don't mean to upset anyone, make anybody uncomfortable. But your wife seems to be in her own sorrows. Maybe, just maybe, there was something said between the two of you. I can't help but notice the shoes, and I'll look over at the little boots, and perhaps there was some joy that is now forgotten, but not completely so by your wife. Is there something that we might be able to assist with?
Dmitri continues to drink his fill. Once his glass empty, looks over to Honora. May I have one more glass, please?
Give him as much as I have left after a gallon. So,
My bloodline. This village has been in my family for generations. We have...
5, right?
I've lost count at this point. We've made the most of these dire circumstances, stuck in this God-forsaken land. people look up to me, to my father before me, and to his father before him. I'm getting older. And I worry now that my son has passed.
I'll put my hand on his hand in an empathetic gesture.
My village will no longer be safe. You see, we're groomed as young men how to lead, to inspire. My son, he was going to be great. He was going to be better than I. Again, all things considered, this humble town. I don't know what took him. One morning, he just didn't wake up. He's buried outside. His grave still fresh. Not a 10-day has passed since his passing.
And the wife now just like fucking
Sobbing.
full on.
Nora's gonna start crying too, you know, and just I've recently lost somebody too. I know the pain that you're going through. The only way that I know to deal with it is to do my best to stop anybody else from feeling that pain. And right now, I blame Strahd. He caused this world. He caused this village to be trapped here. If we can free any means necessary, even using what the abbot knows, to free your village from this cycle of death and soullessness, please let us try.
His wife looks up from her glass over at her husband.
Please just let them go up. I beg you, Dimitri, please just... Maybe you could even ask the abbot to bring our son back to us. Please.
And you can see now him even struggling to keep it together. Looks down at you, Honora, who's been closely, tending to their emotional needs.
The abbot has incredible healing powers, you must know. But as of late, they come with horrible side effects. What do you think? Do you think that's a chance you would be willing to take to bring a loved one back from the dead, but know that they could grow incredibly ill from a mental ailment or a physical ailment? What if it was his heart that stopped that killed him, and they replace it with that of a pig or something?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you're saying that these mongrel people were once not alive anymore?
No. Well, some of them, yes, I'm sure, but most of them they went up with, at least from the books, the things that I've heard. Now, anymore, it's just from inbreeding. But originally...
They're robbing the graves. Do you know why?
No, I don't. I can only assume that it's mischievous, devious plan.
When you say they're robbing the graves, your community seems rather modest. I admire its aesthetic, actually, but I don't imagine you bury your dead with much jewelry or riches. What is it that they're after?
I don't know. I have not seen him in quite some time. And as I stated, his group of mongrels come down in the middle of the night. Don't see much of them either.
They're taking bodies then, or
Yes,
stones? Oh,
all of the above. Sometimes they take fresh graves, other times they rob graves that have been long since dead of our ancestors. Each plot has its own graveyard behind the home.
And you don't know why?
No.
That's
As
really...
cowardice as it seems. We've grown.
Dimitri, would you want to see your son again one more time?
I don't
People
even...
are born in this world, club-footed, broken arms, twisted torsos, and people find a way to love them, cherish them. And those that have passed, their loved ones would do anything for one more day with them.
But what about the afflictions of the mind? Those that turn them into something else entirely.
I don't think that this abbot is trying to cause these afflictions.
we don't know that. Forgive my companion. I believe he speaks out of turn. The
No, I
choice
believe-
that
We
no,
can't know what's in the abbot's mind until we've talked to him.
Indeed. And to bring up such a choice that is unnatural and most should never have to make.
Quite painful.
Let's let it rest for now.
We can always revisit this in the morning. You said you had some work for us? Our condition for staying?
Your condition for staying. Originally was to use your bodies for work around the camp, but now I see your eagerness to visit the abbot as a different opportunity. You can go, and you can do what we have been too cowardice to do. Find out why it is that they are robbing our graves. Find out what the abbot is up to. Try to get him to stop, even if you would. And lastly, ask him if he would be so kind as to bring my son back so the Krezk line can continue. That this village can continue to be safe. Please, that is all I ask.
We We will talk to the abbot on your behalf. Thank you so much for your kindness.
If I had to guess, the bell just rang, and what you probably didn't hear from beyond the walls, that we hear so frequently, is the chirping and howling of rabid mongrel folk. It's their feeding time. I imagine the time that has gone by now is sufficient that you would not be interrupting their meal. And if there was to be a time where you say, like, a hungry wolf is less of a threat, I would say time is of the essence, at least for now. If you want to go see him, I give you permission to go see him now.
Thank you.
Appreciated.
I'll get up from the table, put my alchemy jug away. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on the table, and I'm going to put my hand on Mrs. Burglemaster's shoulders in a gesture of comfort before I exit.
I guess I think I might actually inquire about what kind of. I mean, unless we're heading to the abbot with haste, I wouldn't mind figuring out what kind of work is going on. I'm quite surprised by this village and taken with its simple and clean aesthetic.
I think he indicated that now is the best time to go.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I mean, there's what he said was like the dinner bell went off. They're probably done eating now.
Don't want to go. Oh, okay.
They're probably done eating now. That's
now
gonna
they're
be
not
the
hungry.
best. That's gonna be the best time to go up. But you would also know just general human nature that people eat more than, you know, once in their life. So there is always tomorrow if you wanted to inquire about the work and use tonight for a rest.
Hopefully, we can always come back and. Yeah, I like this place.
Mister, I don't want to go there.
Yeah,
oh,
I don't want to go there. It sounded pretty awful. Like, I mean, I'm
a little different than what you expected.
Well, I'm not as.
The Burgomaster also set off a really bad first impression, and he's turned it
No,
well
what are you talking about?
around.
He was wonderful. He was a great town leader. He had his.
Yeah.
Other than the bumbling with the spyglass, that was unfortunate. That was not a charismatic move.
Poor guy.
That was perfect.
Hey, you can be perfectly charismatic and have no
hand-eye coordination.
Exactly.
Well, it is 9:30, so we'll go ahead and end the session there. So that was a good one.
I guess the discussion